Hello, my name is Ryan Hooey, and I'm one of 6 peer mentors involved with the Southwest Peer Mentor Alliance. This is a pilot project that was started in September of 2014 and is funded by the Ministry of Community and Social Services. This project has 2 mentors in London, 1 in Sarnia and Chatham, and 3 in the Windsor-Essex areas. And our goal as a whole is to reach out and to support and educate persons with a disability who are looking to enter the workforce. There are a variety of ways that we will do that, and we're going to discuss them throughout this video, as well as introduce the peer mentors in the Windsor-Essex area and the Chatham, Kent, and Sarnia.
Hi, I'm Evelina Baczewska. I'm one of the peer mentors in the Windsor area. I'm currently placed at Assisted Living Southwestern Ontario, and I'm part of the Southwest Peer Mentor Alliance. I've been involved with the program since its inception in September 2014. I have a physical disability which would be classified as cerebral palsy. I'm proud to say that I'm a peer mentor for the area. I look forward to meeting with people with disabilities to discuss barriers, dispel myths, and encourage people to become involved in the workforce to make it a more inclusive space.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Bauder. I am a peer employment mentor with the Southwest Peer Mentor Alliance. I am working out of Insight Advantage, the Southwest campus in Windsor. I have multiple sclerosis. I have been displaying symptoms since I was 15 years old, but nobody was able to diagnose me until I was 21 and was legally blind. I have gone to university to obtain a degree so that I could try to get into the workforce, because I felt that I was unable to work without a background. Since my vision is so impaired, there's so little that I felt I could do. So I personally went through a severe period of depression for approximately 3 years, feeling like no one would ever hire me, there's nothing I can ever do. But I was able to work through that to get into my education so that I could be employable.
Hi, my name is Kody Crabb. I'm a peer mentor with the Southwest Peer Mentor Alliance. I work out of Insight Advantage in Chatham. I'm the mentor for the Chatham-Kent region as well as Leamington, Ontario. I have cerebral palsy, and I'm really looking forward to bringing my positive attitude towards being a person with a disability in the workforce. I've always thought of myself as somebody who just really wanted to get out there and do everything that everybody else does, and I want to bring that to the people I end up talking to on the day in and day out basis.
I'm Ryan Hooey, and I'm a peer mentor at Community Living Windsor in the Windsor area for the Southwest Peer Mentor Alliance. I have visual impairment, and I'm relatively new to this because my disability had just occurred in 2012 due to a lifelong battle with diabetes. I'm looking forward to letting the participants know that they should focus on what they can do rather than what they can't, and giving them a realistic approach to gaining meaningful employment and entering the workforce.
I started with ODSP employment support about a year ago after I finished up with my education and wanted to get into the workforce. I met with the service provider back in April. Since then, they've given me assistance with things like resume writing, interview skills. They've placed me in an office job while we continue to look for something more related to my field. They've helped me out with furthering my education and my licenses. It's been wonderful. My service provider paid for me to take a 1-week course up in Toronto to further my water treatment licenses. It was fantastic. there was no way I would have been able to afford that otherwise.
I had just graduated from the University of Windsor with my Honours BA of Disability Studies. I was just starting to get into the workforce looking for employment, and I applied for employment support because I didn't have any clothes to wear to interviews. And I also took some training. I felt I would be more employable if I had things like first aid, CPR, courses like that. I first had a part-time job at the University of Windsor as a standardized patient, and it was just an on-call job. But upon graduation, I applied for a job that I found regarding employment support for individuals who are either disabled or on ODSP and trying to get into the workforce. I think that the Peer Employment Mentorship Program will be very successful because I felt myself, when struggling with my disability, trying to get into the workforce, it could be discouraging and depressing. So having someone to talk to and find out about new resources and other options that are available was very empowering. I believe very strongly in a strengths-based perspective on handling different challenges we come into in our lives. So I think that this program allows us to have a companion, almost a friend, who we can express our concerns, our barriers that we have, and have someone who can relate to the situations we're dealing with.
I first got involved in this program when I applied for ODSP income support when I was 18 years old and coming out of high school, or just before I came out of high school. I applied for the income support. It wasn't until I was into my post-secondary career as a student, about third year, that I sort of began exploring what sorts of employment options and accommodations are out there for me as I began to navigate the workforce with the degree that I had obtained. So then I met with the service provider and I applied for employment supports. And what employment supports did was offer services and certain accommodations in my workplace that allowed me to navigate that area as seamlessly as possible, whether it was addressing physical barriers and as far as ensuring that the physical space was accessible to me, or offering different supports in terms of doing the job that I was required to do. So my first employment position was working at the University of Windsor as a graduate student in the sociology department. So I received supports in that job, and making sure that everything was accessible and that my needs were being met as an employee at the university versus a student at the university, and it just allowed me to navigate that aspect of my life easily, or more easily. I must say that I'm very proud of this program and its goal is to place people with disabilities as sort of the gatekeepers per se, because I think that people with disabilities sometimes feel that their voices aren't heard, or they may be apprehensive in terms of going about and getting that job, and seeing someone sort of on the front line that they first meet with, having that sort of standpoint knowledge or similar experience perhaps makes it easier for one to talk about barriers that they may face or accommodations that they may need. Well, it allowed me to participate in the workforce. It got me involved in something that I was already proud and enthusiastic to do, because that's where my education sort of lied. I got a degree in sociology, and then I started working at the university, and it just verified my abilities or gave me an outlet to use the skills that I had learned in the workforce and sort of transfer that. So it verified sort of my value not only as a student but as an employee.
You know, show people that you don't have to be defined by a disability and that you can do what anybody else can do, including go out and get into the workforce and earn a living for yourself and have a meaningful career. And I think that's important for people to know, that you don't have to be defined by a diagnosis or a limitation, and it's just something you move on from.
We are the Windsor-Essex and the Chatham-Kent sections of the Southwest Peer Mentor Alliance. You've heard our stories, and we're looking forward to hearing yours. I would like to give a special thank you to Kevin McShann of Mobilizing Media Innovations for producing this video.